The majority of you guys sitting in this room love sports because it has been an important part of your lives. Um, it was the same for Tom, a junior in high school. He was planning on playing on the tennis team for college. He loved to play other sports as well. One of his favorite sports was cycling, and early one morning he went for a ride on his bicycle. As he was riding in the bike lane, the driver of a vehicle diverted off the main road and collided into Tom. Therefore, the result of the accident caused Tom to lose the use of his legs. Tom's plans were crushed. He knew he was not able to play tennis on the team again or even just play any kind of other sport until he found wheelchair tennis. Even though he is in a wheelchair, he can now enjoy sports again through wheelchair tennis, and he loves sports so much, so it has been a great thing for him. Tennis is a great sport because it can be played by those who are physically disabled. Today I'm going to talk about the rules of wheelchair tennis, the special wheelchair, and the wheelchair tennis program here at Biola. First of all, according to the International Tennis Federation website, it states, in order to be eligible to compete in ITF-sanctioned wheelchair tennis tournaments and the Paralympic Games, a player must have a medically diagnosed permanent mobility-related physical disability. The wheelchair tennis rules are just like regular tennis rules except with a few exceptions. Wheelchair players can play out the point with 2 bounces instead of 1 bounce being the maximum. Wheelchair players have some restrictions on how much they can touch their wheelchair with their lower extremities during their strokes. It is also not legal to touch the ground with the foot during the forward motion of the swing, including when the racket strikes the ball, as Rule E states on the ITF Rules of Play, which can also be found in the International Federation website. Now that I have briefly covered some of the rules of wheelchair tennis, I will talk about the specific wheelchair made specifically for tennis. For a beginning player, a regular wheelchair can be used, but as the player advances in his skills, he may want to use a more advanced wheelchair. An anti-tip bar is located on the rear side of the chair and helps the player to prevent tipping over. All tennis wheelchairs are manual except for those who use a power wheelchair because they are more limited to their mobility. I have talked about the rules and special chair for wheelchair tennis. Next, I will talk about the tennis program here on campus, specifically for wheelchair players. Every Monday from 7 to 10 o'clock in the evening, Biola holds a clinic. There are 2 sessions, one in the fall and one in the spring. Different players of age and disabilities come out and play. From kids to adults, beginners to advanced players, they are always there each week. This program is a great place to spend a couple of hours serving others. As you are now familiar with wheelchair tennis, the special wheelchair, and the program here at Biola, I hope you may get involved to be able to meet great players like Tom and to listen to their stories on how wheelchair tennis has changed their lives.